Hello, my name is Design Ghost and welcome to another episode of our design series where we learn everything design. If you are new here and you've not subscribed to our channel yet, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put us on post notifications so that you do not miss any amazing content we post here. Today, I am going to take you through step by step on how to design a product flyer using Photoshop and animate it using After Effects. Yes, After Effects, and it is going to be the very basic of After Effects for every beginner. So stay with me as I take you through. So we begin with Photoshop, and these are the color palettes that we are going to use for this particular tutorial. You can follow along, you can pause the video and take these color palettes, you can take the hex code, you can pick them and then follow along if you want to follow step by step. These are also the resources that we are going to need, and these are the resources we are going to use for this tutorial. So if you want to download these resources and follow along, in the description is a link to our Telegram page where you can find links to download all these resources for free. So let's begin. So the artboard that we are working in currently is a 5x7 with a 300 resolution, so you can also pick that. Yeah, so let's hide our color palette. But first of all, before we hide our color palette, let's pick our base color. For the background, G for bucket 2. Let's grab a rectangle with rounded corners and draw. Increase the corners to 90. Take out the stroke. Let's give it a different color so that we can see what's going on. Hold Alt, duplicate. Great. Select the second rectangle, bring it a bit down. Let's join it to this. Let's increase the height a bit. Add another layer. Let's grab our pen tool. Make selection. Grab our bucket tool. Make sure it's on white, the same color, and fill. Control D to deselect. Now we can call this shape. Control Alt E to make a selection of it and hide the original. Great. Now we can add another rendered rectangle here. Make the rounded corner 90. Great. Let's take out the stroke, bring it down, Control A and make sure it's in the middle. Same thing applies here, Control D. Now let's hold Alt, we'll duplicate it, bring it to the very top. Now the curve didn't really come well, so we can pick our pen tool again, but before that, V, select the shape, P for our pen tool again. Let's see. I think this is okay. Make selection, G for bucket to deselect, and this is much better. Now we click this particular shape, we duplicate it again, we resize it, bring this a bit down. Great. Now let's apply some gradients to this. So we'll bring in our color palette. We select this, pick this color, U for shape to, and we can change it. Select this, gradient, oops, sorry. So let's merge this, gradient. Okay, so I have tested this, so that is why it just appeared. So basically it's this gradient, and this is also this one. All right, so you can apply it, you can hide it. Now let's bring in our images. So we bring in our Apple pod to the scene. Let's resize it. Make sure it's on top. And take this shape beneath it. Great. Now let's add another layer to this. Make a clipping mask. Grab our brush tool and let's go for black. Great. Same thing applies here. Clipping mask, brush tool. Let's bring in our color palette. We choose the last one. It is not appearing because the layer that it is being clipped into has a gradient, so we need to rasterize that layer, and there it goes. Let's increase it and decrease the opacity. Great. Let's hide our color palette. We can bring in our QR code. Take it to the very top. Great. We want to add some shapes here, but it seems this side is very small, so for our test and everything, so we are going to hold shift, exclude the airport. We are going to open it up a bit. Wait, we're going to add some rounded rectangles to this. Add a layer. Increase the corners, take out the stroke. Great. Let's reduce the opacity small. Right. I will duplicate this. Duplicate another one. So these are going to go out of the clipping mask. Release them. Let's bring it down a bit. Group, we can call it icons. I will bring in our headphone, our icon. So we'll take our diamond, bring it to the scene, sorry, our headset. Bring in our color palette. Select our headset, color overlay, and even pick the color that we were going to choose. So now we can hide our color palette. Headphones not needed, QR code not needed, airport not needed. We bring in our sound wave too. Control T to reduce it a bit. Let's add a color overlay to it. Bring in a diamond, which is also part of the resources. Position that here. We give it a color overlay. So we can select the three and add it to our icons so that these groupings are going to make our animation very easy because it is very basic. Now let's add some text and some information here. So we select this. Let's select our QR code. Oops, what's happening? Select our QR code and bring it a little bit backward. Okay, so we are going to add some text to it, and we can group all of these. Later we'll come back to group them very well so that we can send them to After Effects. So we grab our text tool, airports, with high quality. We are going to use a font called Lufa. And Lufa extra bold, high quality. This we are going to use regular. Great. And the color is going to be white. We are going to make the line height. We are going to make the line height 19, maybe 18. It's okay. Position it well. We grab our text tool, we generate default text, make the size 5, line height of 5, color of white, words letter spacing of -10 so that it will be a bit visible. Let's see 0. Great. We duplicate that text to and we've got a dotted line. Duplicate this, change color to black, take some of the font out, sorry, the text, we are taking some out. See, can bolden it, take your out code a bit back again. Great. Now let's give it the main name. So the main name, Airport Max. And we are going to use a font called Apona. Now we'll duplicate this text and we'll put here. put it to the very top. I can change the color to white. Great. So we are almost done. We just have to add a touch to the background. And let's reduce opacity. Great. So that is the end of the Photoshop session of this tutorial. See you in After Effects. Welcome. So this is the After Effects section of this tutorial. Alright, so to be able to send our files to After Effects, we need to group them because we are going to make a very basic flyer animation in After Effects. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is to create a folder here called Animate. Close this particular folder. Now we are going to group them into batches. So we select this, we look for our QR code, okay, and this is the text. Let's see, and that is also the shape. So we group and we'll say shape 1. We group this and that. We call it BG as background. We open this, and in here, this is going to stand alone, and the icons is going to group with this. We are going to call it shape 2. This shape is also going to stand alone, and we are going to group this and call it shape 3. Now we need to group our text also, so we look for our main text. We group that and we call it test 1. And then we'll group this, that, and we'll call it test 2. Now what we are going to do is we are going to save all these files one by one as PNG files. So you hide all of these, leaving background. Then we press Shift Ctrl Alt W. Now we can export. We find where our folder is. Then we call it BJ. Let's hide this layer and bring in the next thing. So we hide all these, leaving that. Then Shift Ctrl Alt W again. Export. Let's find our folder. Let's name it 1. Let's hide that, bring this, the same procedure, call it 2. hide this, bring that, same procedure. You call it 3. Hide this, bring that, same procedure, call it 4. We hide that, and we can hide this eventually because we are done with that. We bring in shape 1, same procedure. We call this 5. Hide this, bring our tests, same procedure. Can call it test 1. And same for the other tests. Let's put this inside that, and now we can bring all of them back, including our background. And now you can save your file. So we move on to After Effects. If this is your first time in After Effects, don't panic. It's a very simple interface. So we are going to create a composition that is going to hold our work, and we are going to call it main. We are going to use 1080 by 1500 pixels here. We are going to animate 60 frames per second full, and then the duration is going to be 10 seconds. This is seconds, all right, and this is minutes, hours, and frames. So we are going to animate in just 10 seconds. So okay, we bring in our file, so we double click, and this is where our files are. So we select all of them, Control A, we import them, and they come inside. So we are going to look for background, and we are going to bring it inside. We are going to hit S for scale. We are going to scale it to 72. Let's fit the screen so that you see what's happening. So this is 72. We close that, and then apart from that, we are going to bring the rest in. We select all and make sure it's on the top. Great. Hit S while you selected all of them and take it to 72. Sorry, it went to 27. Let's go back. To 72. Great. Test did not come. Let's add test. S and then 72, and it has also fallen in place. So it is that easy. So we are going to make sure that our animation is within the first 5 seconds. All right, So we want this to come in from the right, this to come in from the left. So let's find it. Great, that is 4. So we hit P for position, then we'll move it about 2 seconds. We give it a keyframe, we hit F9 to easy ease, then you move to the right. We select the keyframes and we go to the graph. Great, so we are done with that. Then we look for this tool that is going to come in from the left. Okay, that is also 5. So we are going to also hit P for position, move a bit here, add a keyframe, F9 to easy ease, and then move back to where we want it to come from. Great. You can select the keyframes. Now we are done with that too. So let's animate the shapes. Great. We are going to animate them together. So we'll move about 1 second, hit S for scale. We are going to add the keyframe, F9 to easy ease them, and then we are going to say 0. Great. We are going to hit S again to close them, S to bring them out. Now let's close the animation a bit so that it will be a bit faster. Great. So they are going to animate together, but we want some to come before the others. So what we are going to do is that let's select all of them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. And let's pull back. Let's pull the 2 so that one comes and the rest fall in place later. Let's select one and pull that also back. Great. Tests, we'll take it back because we want it to be the last thing to show. Great. So at this point you are going to see our test should come in at this point, so we are going to also hit S for scale, F9 to easy ease, and 0. Now let's close up the gap, small graph editor. So we don't want our text to also appear together, so let's select one and take it back so that it delays a bit. Great. Beautiful. Now let's export our work. So we are going to go to Files, Export, Add to Render Queue. Make sure the settings are the same, best settings, lossless. Then we select the output. Let's locate where our file is so we can put it here, and we can call it airport mask, save and render. So this depends on how fast your machine is. All right, but of course this is a 10 seconds animation, so your machine should be able to. All right, so it's supposed to load to the very end of it, and when it's done, you should have an animation like this. So this brings us to the end of today's episode of our design series. If you really enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share for others to benefit. If you are here and you've still not subscribed to our channel yet, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put us on post notification so that you do not miss any amazing content we post here. If you want more of this, comment in the comment section After Effects and we are going to drop more of this. Thank you. My name is Design Ghost and see you in the next episode. Bye.